I see you now, George. And you can hear me. Good. No video. No video. What does that mean? Hey, Chris. No video means you can't see? That would be strange. Oh, I forgot to, I forgot to take that step. Bummer. Right. Yeah. On my way to this page, instead of saying go live, I should say use the right camera and then go live. I forgot that step. Now, I'm not going to go back and fix it because I don't want to ask for trouble. Yeah. I've put the link to this in the LGD room. Let's say, since we had 10 minutes, I can ask a question. With your 13-year-old 6Q brain, I see. Let's say I type something into my LGD room. Hi, everybody, this is Shygost. Whatever it is, I type it in. Then 5 minutes later, someone comes in. Do they see it? Or do I have to retype it? Anybody know? Okay. Will do. I guess if I put it in the room sign. Today's there we go. Let's try that. Oh, yeah, I'm so smart. The only way they will see something post-logging is if you include it in the room message, right? That reminds me, like I just figured it out, and I said, "Oh, I'm so smart! I figured it out." More than once, I've been on what I considered a nice trek out into the wild, open, wherever. Looks like no one's ever been there before, and I have the feeling that I'm the first one. And you look down, there's cans of beer, and it's a regular hangout. So here I am. Oh, I figured it out. Everyone knows this. Okay, sorry. Now I can click over here and see participants. We have 2. Hey, Colton. Colton, can you hear me? It's great to see you here. Sounds like you didn't say yes, but that sounds like a yes. Chris and George. Colton's someone who's just coming back to go, and he's getting his feet back under him, and he's going from, let's say, 5Q, and he's shooting up quickly. He's playing at Don level now pretty consistently. Still a little messy, still a little not quite taking care of things, but he's going to shoot up quickly to 3 Don, then up 4 Don. He really does have 5 Don written all over his face. Just hasn't pieced it together yet. Yeah, at the moment, George and Colton are both really similar. George clearly has more substance and consistency, but I'm thinking Colton might have more potential and talent. So I'd love to see that game. I'd love to see a series, best of 2, best of 3. And I've thought recently it might be time to do another LGD tournament, because there's some new blood and people are getting stronger, and I'd like to see that. Yeah, do we let Chris in the tournament? I don't know. They just push everyone around. If he's willing to give 9 stones to everybody, then maybe. We got about 3 minutes before we get started. I wish I could see the chat and the participants. I'm going to click top chat, see what happens. Nothing happened. Still looks the same. I'm going to go back to live chat. Then what if I right click? No, didn't help. Okay. I can always toggle back and forth. And then I have this window in our last 3 minutes that's kind of in my way. Little YouTube logo says, welcome to live chat. Remember, blah, 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 learn more. I want it gone. I'm going to click learn more. Big window comes up. Yeah, still there. Maybe put chat on your second monitor. It is on the second monitor. Yeah. I don't know how to separate the board you see and the chat I see. I'll be looking at my KGS board, and you guys, still, this is all confusing to me. You can ask George. I get confused pretty easily. He always has to come to my aid, and I ask again, and then I misunderstand again, and he is so patient with me. I got to tell you, I really appreciate George. If you guys knew what he had to put up with, you'd laugh, because it's like, really? Shygost is that slow and confused? Yeah, I am. Oh, I'll send you this file. You didn't send me the file. Oh, I forgot. Okay, here it is. Wrong file. Okay. We love George's patience, doing community a great service. I agree. He comes along and says, hey, Shygost, how about I make a YouTube channel for you and work out all the details and teach you how to do it? Oh my God, what a wonderful thing. Once it's all worked out, hey, Shygost, how about we put you on okay, let me do all the details for you. Wow. Okay, let's have a look. Last week, hello, Bambi. Nice to see you here. So last week, we did a create a game. where everyone's shouting out coordinates, and we create a game, and along the way, try to figure out how do we decide where to play. So today we're going to do the same thing, except it kind of took a while for everyone to get the hang of it. So I brought in a game, just a random 1 and 2 dawn game off KGS. So we can just get through the opening and then talk about how does one make decisions. Now, poor Chris is going to have to sit in the background holding his tongue going, oh, don't say anything yet. Don't say anything yet. Let the Q players talk. Poor Chris. The burden of being the strongest player. Back in the day, going back 50 years, you couldn't find a 1-dawn. I mean, oh, there's a 1-dawn. He came to the club. No one could believe it. Oh my God, a 1-dawn. And so when I got to 1-dawn, me and my buddy were the strongest guys there. When we were 1 Qs, we're the strongest ones. When we were 2 Qs, we're the strongest ones. And by the time we both got up to 5-dawn, we're the strongest ones. And nowadays there's 6, 7, 8 dawns everywhere. It's ridiculous. Okay. Something came up the other day. We can look at it here. And we want to ask the question, is this a mistake? And my vote is no. Well, isn't the empty corner bigger? Well, yeah, but that doesn't make... So in theory, this is smaller. But at this stage of the game, it's really hard to say, you're going to lose the game. It's by 1 point. Really? I don't think so. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, 1 and 2 dawn playing. We're just getting through the opening here. I don't like that on the 3rd line, but that's not, it's a little more style. Okay, here's our first question. Good, bad, and more importantly, why? And Bambi, I hope you speak up. I'm looking to see if... Yeah, there's no rankings here. So maybe Bambi is a 8-dawn, who knows? Maybe I just insulted Bambi. Should black pinch? Don't pinch? Is it style? 6-7Q? Is it style? Is it a wrong idea? Makes the game more... There's lots of ways to be an acceptable move, but still have negative qualities. Like M. Okay. So one part, or the main part of this lecture, is us getting used to the idea of coming up with clear thinking. So, for instance, and we mentioned this recently in some video, when a 20Q, we're about to start a game, the 20Q plays here. I got to tell you, you can tell by the look on his face, I'm not scared one bit. He knows his depth of knowledge here is like a little less than a thimble, right? It's like nothing. When you play a professional 9-dawn and the 9-dawn plays here, it's terrifying because of the depth of knowledge. It's like, oh my God, he's going to do everything, right? So over here, let's walk through and try to find some depth of knowledge, as it were. Let's just look at the possibilities, right? Okay, so we can play away somewhere or respond locally. It seems Pinching tightly should usually be reserved for specific situations. Well said. Otherwise, I prefer to back off. Okay, George said it great. This black move is a statement. I'm attacking you. How come? Well, it's because I have this two-stone wall in the upper left. I want that top. That top is so valuable to me. I have a specific reason to pinch. Just like George said. Okay, I like it. What about here? I can't think of any reason. Okay, now let's change it to, that's a white shamari. How about now? Well, black is saying, I don't want white to get all that. Well, then don't let white counter pinch and get what he wants. Do the same pinch, but back off so you can't get attacked. And now white, when he plays here, it's less powerful and smaller. So it would be so this black move here would be a specific move, but a different one. We're in white's area. Back off. Don't get attacked. As a matter of fact, let's put it here so we're simply alive. That's the idea, right? So yeah, what's the specific situation? Here, we like the right. And with that in mind, and there's nothing else, there's no reason to play away. There's nothing special going on. So now we're going to play something. How about, you know what? I like taking the corner. Okay, fine. I want the corner more secure. Okay, fine. Or I just want to be stable. So all those make sense, but the pinch does not make sense. Is it a mistake? I don't see any point loss here. If we're talking humans, I don't see a point loss. But if you play moves that have no meaning, you can't form your game. Okay, I'm going to do some reading here. George's great statement. Roman. Mr. Yang has a chapter on pinchers in the book. When high, when low, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Yang is so good at just your basic, here's what you do. Yeah, love his book. Okay, onward. Okay, we're coming along to Joseki here. If I'm playing this, my first thought is, how do I feel about taking the corner? Is this because I love the points, not that they're actually that big in the corner, but I like my corner points. Did I give white too much thickness on top? Yeah, I don't like what I'm giving white. White is more substantive than black. Because in black's position, it's like pretty much just alive, right? Because of this move, right? So it's going to be easy to do some living. So I bypass that and go the way he did. Okay, so we're going forward. Black should have thought about turning there. Black didn't turn. Frozen Soul says, are you here as Frozen Soul and Raven? No, just Frozen. Okay. Locally, either's okay. Globally, I would prefer, I would back off. If we pinch, the fighting develops. Now our lower left side can be a potential. Oh, that's deeper. Let's go and look at that. Okay. Our lower left side can be a drawback for black. Chris, I can't give you control, but I'm having a hard time seeing how this, if we play this Joseki out, you said lower left, saying the A group is now going to be a problem. Is that what you said? Why would that be a problem? Because A's low and therefore white can press it down. And if we make it a high stone instead, then we laugh in white's face as white makes center thickness. Yes, that is a difference. And that's one reason strong players tend to play that high, because they're not looking for the points. And this is plenty stable, and it reaches out to the game much more, and the follow-up moves are so much bigger. Yeah. Okay, good. I like it how everyone but Chris is going, well, here and here. And he says, well, wait a minute. Globally, 100 moves down the road. And we're like, oh, right. Sorry, that's beyond us. Okay. So black is supposed to turn here, right? And get these cuts going. So now white has to do something. White is now going to make a decision, and black knows what to do. But he didn't. Well, should white play in area 1, in area A? White doesn't. White plays away. Good, bad? How would one know? Everyone but Chris gets to try to say something there. And again, the purpose of this whole thing is the better you can say it, the more meaning your move has, the more you can get profit out of the position. The more simply and clearly you can say a thing, the more you understand and it becomes useful to you. No answers yet? Should white play A, or B doesn't exactly fix, but it sort of fixes? I don't like playing away here. Black has stability and is therefore ready to split white in two. Reasonable. I'm not yet satisfied. Anyone but Chris want to give another statement? Or George? Generally speaking, it's not good to let yourself be split. True, which is pretty much what George said. And that's all true. But if someone were to say what's on my mind, then we know why and how to proceed. We say, well, generally this is not a good idea. Then how do I find my next move? That's not information that tells us what to do. Okay, here I go. White's B group is weak. No one said that. White's B group is about to get cut apart. Yes, if white plays A, white has two weak groups. Well, one weak group, and black has no problems at all. White A is an attack based on weakness. So, from black's perspective, white didn't fix. Man, I'm going to start my attack. If instead we said, well, in general, it's not a good idea, then white plays here and black says, well, I don't really know what to do. Maybe split white. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But it was like, man, white's weak. Now I know what the future is. Okay. Now, how to fix here? That's harder for me. I'm sure everyone's going to say this, but the net doesn't work. Or does it? Let's find out. Yeah, I'm not seeing that as any good. Chris, I wish I could give you control. This bothers me. Therefore, I've faced this many times. I might get you to play here. Now you're not cut. But I hate that move. Maybe settle up here, and this will tell you how to handle the cut. Roman says, I'm concerned about white's upper left stone. Looks weird now. So our C stone, not getting weak. I haven't really been approached. And, I'm not sure how I can use it anymore. Instead, we go, I'm looking forward to, it will present itself. How do you see will present itself soon? I might treat it lightly. I might give it up. I might try to take points. I'll find out soon. I'm looking forward to that. So it doesn't look weird because it's not an entity that can be negated. It's a stone which has infinite flexibility. Chris says, I have my answer for this one. If you need to pass control at any point, you can add me to the screen. Okay, I want to do that. Options, access list. And you are Raven here. AV3N. Okay, come on in. I'm so glad you suggested that. He's not in, so I'm going to check my access list. Yeah, he can come in. There he is. Pass that guy control. Okay, so white's getting some clear trouble. Oh, and he speaks. Good. So we want to know how to fix the cut. No, not how to cut as black, how to fix as white. White's move. So if white doesn't play R12 and instead white wants to fix the cut, how does white do that? Yeah. I have faced this many times. I always play B. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Now, we know this doesn't fix the cut. But white simply says, I'm being flexible, right? My centers become great, and black didn't get much in the corner. Okay. So, if we were to play the regular Joseki, here's a common way, and again, it can be cut. Here's a thicker way, less eye space, not cut. And then we have, this is basically all the moves we saw in the game, except one, which I'm going to look at. So these are all Joseki to deal locally. And we just saw this one, right? I mean, okay, so in his variation, come on now, we had, was it here? Yeah. So in a normal Joseki, let's just look at it again. One of these is playable, but not necessarily active. In the variations he's showing, he's not showing any of these kind of moves, which is interesting to me. I mean, that's what the normal Joseki looks like, right? So he's saying, well, we now have the opportunity to be very flexible or thick. So perhaps that's the punishment towards black. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm going to do some reading. Right, good. So, probably enough said. White comes in, black comes here. I sort of like this because we're leaning on the right to hurt the center. I mean, so it's understandable. So A, B, or C for white? I ask everyone but Chris. Since Chris is the final word. When I first started interacting with Chris some less than a year ago, I'm like, oh, he's really strong. Then I started interacting some more. Oh, no, he's really strong. And then I go, oh, my God. The study he's put in is pretty impressive. What do people think, A, B, or C? The tighter we fix, the more we're looking forward to the cut. Let's start with that. So we're kind of saying, oh, now we're not going to get my answer. Oh, I wasn't reading the KGS. My answer to the question, A, is not necessary as it stands because white has... Chris, take us to the position where you're stating your answer there. A, as it stands, because white has not exchanged Q18 for black R. Can you show? I'm having a hard time following. When you say things like Q18, it's like a friend. To me, it's like someone I've never met. Where's Q18? What's that look like? Me and coordinates have no relationship. White 1 for 2. Okay. Q18. Whew, sorry about that. Because that has not been exchanged. White can treat the O stones I don't know what the O stones are, lightly, dive into the corners, black cuts. Right now, white needs to prioritize development here. I think you mean center. Defending would simply spend one move now for only possible benefit later. That being said, A is an overplay. Okay. Great. So, all that being said, where would you personally play as white? I assume he's thinking. So that means white doesn't necessarily have to defend, but attacking A is an overplay. Okay, so I'm going to see where he plays and then have a short, because usually when I hear Chris talk, he says so much and it's so packed with information, I always have to repeat it to myself. Okay, he said this. Okay, I got that. Then he said that. Okay, wait a minute. What does that mean? I always have to slow it down. I'm always embarrassed about that. I am a slow person. Just ask my wife. Still looking to where Chris would play if he was the next white, if he was white. I would play, drum roll please. Okay. Now I'm just going to pass, so it's the quickest way of clearing up the board so we don't see all the marks. Okay. What I think I heard Chris say is the B-stones, heck, they were just forcing plays. I can use those in a lot of ways later or give them up. They were just forcing moves, good time to play away. My two A-stones, that's pretty much my main group, but still they're flexible because maybe A will be cut off and I'll jump in the corner. So my two A-stones are flexible and not in trouble. They're either supported by the B group or they're out or they have the corner. There's really no problem with the A stones as long as I'm willing to give the B stones up. Chris, did I say that reasonably well? I'd love for him to say, well, not really. That would crack me up so bad. Okay. Now, I'm glad we came up with this because we saw Black not play Jaceki, and we're like, what do we do? And everyone other than Chris would put a stone down. And we'd have varying success. But the reason for today's lecture is how do we find depth of knowledge? And Chris's explanation is like, well, that makes sense. Would I be able to see that I don't need to spend a move connecting A and B? Everything's fine. Oh, if we caught that, we're immediately a better player. Absolutely, we are now better players. Thank you, Chris. I've spent some time with Chris recently, some lessons, and really helped. Really shook me up and got some of my old game back. I was just thrilled by it. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Back to this. I don't see George's idea of now we can't cut as well, because if we now just cut, well, we'll just give up that. I think we cut pretty well. Wherever we go, I think we can cut as long as we've defended our group. Are there differences? Well, yeah, but not significant that I can see. We have A, B, and C are different sizes. There's things like, if black is here, then of course we play here. Now there's a specific reason to. If black is here, I think I prefer this one, because we've defended ourselves and are affecting the corner dramatically. If he's here, this is getting complex for me, because we're not necessarily affecting the corner a lot, and we left Aji behind, right? So I'm like, well, but I also feel bad about this. So I would probably go the whole way, because I know my group's going to be okay. White can attach at R17, R7. Yeah, and demand clarity. I sort of don't like it, because we've given black so much thickness just to stabilize. I'd rather just stabilize and not give black so much. It's efficient to settle, true. So if hey, I want to settle here. I don't like this. I don't feel settled. I mean, man, what am I going to do? I can't find a good move. And I don't want to be all back off and just not do anything. So I'm going to take time to settle. Yeah, black's going to get something, but this is a priority to me. And I'm going to do it in Sente. Okay. I'm at least more convinced now than I was before. Yeah, I like it. Okay. But this is like, really? Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, I still feel weak as white. Okay. Black. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I'm not going to tell you what I think. You guys have to take guesses. Why don't I like A? Good, bad? Am I wrong? Am I right? Why might A be good or bad? I was about to tell you. Oh, no way. We're here to have you tell me. Oh, and by the way, Roman, I really like your comments. The comments you leave in YouTube, I like them. They're insightful. They help me in what videos to do next. And I always like yours. Any ideas about A? Welcome. And not that it means anything, but every time I see your name, I think of you in a boat, because you're the rowman. No one's talking about black A. Okay, so I'm going to change the question. Bambi says, oh, hello, Bambi again. Does not prevent P14. P14. A does not prevent B. I don't get that. You probably mean the cut. We're making white's next move straightforward. White will connect up. Uh-huh. Yeah, I like that. So George says, black is simply helping white. Wow, white has become so happy. What happened there? Good grief. Black got 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. White got center thickness, corner territory. Yeah, good. So let's think black to play, which it is. Someone give me we're going to think through how to find the move. If black's thinking, where should I play? We want the thought process. What do we look at first? Chris says to ask your opponent complex questions. This is the opposite. I like it. Yeah. Yes. How are my groups? Boom, 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 boom. D's no question, as is E is no question. A, we've already settled it, not weak. But we're in the middle of a BC thing. How's our B group? Someone tell me how the B group is? And that's two separate groups because white can just cut if white wants. We're trying to figure out how our B groups is. B group is. Now, the thing we're going to be relying on in actual play is, how do I feel about my B group? Surrounded without stability. Now, the surrounded part I disagree with. White cannot surround. But we're not stable. We're not connected to our other C group. So it's not like we're about to die, but I don't feel good there. Black is okay if and only if black can, I got a little thing blocking that, to secure if black can something to secure the corner. So we all seem to agree that, Bambi said something. As black, I'd be worried about the P13 push. Okay, let's start with that. Okay, we're concerned about being cut. So black does something. And white says, aha, you fool. Well, we'll just go one step at a time here. Black has two weak groups. I hate it. Okay. So then what do? Well, we state that the B group is important. The C stones, at the moment, we're not too concerned. So let's look at it from that point of view. White cuts. I'm going to cut you. I've cut you. Black's not weak at all. He couldn't get surrounded as long as he's willing to give up a couple stones. So based on that, we're not concerned about the cut per se. But that B group sure seems weak. Okay. So we're going to move forward with the assumption that we want to defend our A group. Okay, we're stepping through how we would think during a game, right? Now, I want to remind everyone of their bad habit. Oh, I'll put a stone down wherever it looks good to me. If you're 10Q and you put down a stone wherever it looks good to you, what have you done? You've played a 10Q move. Same with 6Q, same with 3Q. You just put down a move at your level. But if you go, wait a minute, I won't put down a stone, I'm going to think through the move. Hey, I've decided my A group is uncomfortable. What's the next step? We're going to defend A, and we need a second purpose. Ooh, that's my wife's alarm. She's home. George says, how's white? We know these beast stones are not necessarily connected, but heck, they can just live in the corner. C, we'll just say is absolutely alive. That's not necessarily true, but pretty gosh darn strong. So this B group, it's like, heck, it can just do whatever it wants in the corner. If I stop white's B group from going to the corner, that's a serious bother to white. And I get the points. Ooh, we have a new person. Defend while playing a valuable move. Okay, so let's look at the simplest version. And we'll go, and this is what I do. I put down a move in my head. I go, okay, did it defend A? Oh, totally. Now, Token just said defend while playing a valuable move. Absolutely true. But let's check this out. This is important. We just defended our A group and took the corner. Now I'm thinking this is what Token's thinking. Valuable, I got the corner. But we don't have the right to go say, here's the value I want. Yes, Token. We only have the right to say, outside of myself, not my desires, what does the board desire? Attacking white is more valuable than simply taking a corner. So in other words, hey, I defended myself at D and I've taken the corner. Absolutely true. But if we think about bothering the B group, then we can start getting something a little extra. Okay, now let's reverse it a little bit. Black is thinking wrong. And he says, oh, my A group is fine. I want to hurt the B group. So he says, I'm going to really rip you apart here and stop you from doing something. And then I'm going to attack you here, and I'm going to start coming out. And I'm doing just what I wanted. I'm attacking white. Well, the problem is the cut has become serious. We never focused on defense. So there's all this Aji in the corner that wasn't there before. It's still a problem. We didn't take care of the primary issue. So we know this works. Yes, we defended. And we did two other things: attack white, take territory. Can we do more? Can we do the same thing in Sente? Well, let's find out. Did we defend ourselves? Certainly. If white tries anything, we've connected it to our other group. So for the moment, absolute defense. Did it attack white? Of course. Is it big? That corner could still be open. And since in the middle of a game, it's hard for us to read all this out. We have to go, well, there is something open here, but black says, I've defended myself. Yeah, but you may not have taken the corner. So you'd have to have this conversation with yourself and say, this is better defense. I'm alive. I have points. This is stretching. Is it a good stretch? Is it a bad stretch? Is it like, oh, obviously good. Great, then play it. Well, I don't really know. Then go forward with caution. Caution, I like the move, but I don't want to play it unless I'm secure. I can't get secure. Then you have to be responsible. You'd have to play this one. Okay, so hopefully that all made sense. And if there's any Q players, I don't know people's rankings. We're trying to get thought process. Don't think about, oh, I want to play here. No. Defend A. Oh, bother white. Take territory. Now, this could well be a little slow, but it also fits everything. Okay. A is stable. I really want to play one or two moves, either Q18 or M. Just a second. M13. Chris, did you just said you wanted to play from this position here or here? Chris, I'm going to hand you control so you can clarify what you said. And it wouldn't bother me if you restated it. And you can clear up the board so it's not so many letters, anything you need to do. You know how simple it has to be for me to understand it. So do your best. Okay. I'm going to clean up the board because these letters I find tremendously distracting. So, A versus B. The way I see it is this move, 2 knights moves, kind of weak. This move, oh yeah, baby, we're doing more now. Much easier connection. Okay, so A or B? B's better. Totally defends the corner, not a problem. Aji's all insignificant, and now we can connect under easily. So it does everything, but a little better. Very nice. And then this M, I'll let you, where was it? Have to go back and read it. M13. Me and coordinates don't get along. M13. Okay. This move would never cross my mind unless I went into, man, I've got 20 minutes and I want to think through this move. Why in the world would I play here? Well, first, this becomes, you can just, it's like, bam, totally amazing, so it just supports that tremendously. Anything white wants to do here, we're more prepared for. Okay, that all makes sense. And this sort of thing is better and better. So that's all I'm getting out of this. It does defend, because now getting out is easier. It does bother white. This is true. Negate some of white's center, which I don't see a lot of. I'm not seeing this move very well, Chris. Can you give me some more ideas on why this is? Where's the profit in this move? Where's the position? Hi, hon. Hi. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Say it again. Did you already have the second cup of coffee? I did. A pour over, and it was absolutely delicious. Oh, I felt so guilty. It was so good. She's mad at me that I made a cup of coffee for myself when she was gone. And I did a single serving pour over, which we usually have a Mr. Coffee. Oh, so good. Okay, I maybe didn't give him control. Chris, you're going to try to explain the value of this move. Attacking white as a whole? So white can't cut. Okay, white cuts you. What do you mean by white can't cut? How to defend the cut? You're totally cut. Now, I don't mean to cause trouble, but you know me. Chris and I are so different. His mind is going boom, boom, and he gets all these ideas all packed together, and he understands them all. Not me. Okay, you are cut. So we can't say, oh, defends the cut. No, it doesn't. But also, you haven't clarified the first one yet. Okay, later, you can split anyway. Okay, so it supports the cut, making it less significant for white. It supports this split, which you already had. So it's a supporting move so far. The two ideas black has supports them both and gives center control and makes the sacrifice of the two stones less valuable for white. Okay. For me, this is still a little hard. Now, I prefer to say it's hard for me to state clearly. Therefore, I don't understand it clearly. So let's just go through it again. This is for my benefit. You may be going, what's Shygost doing? Just going on and on about obvious stuff. Well, I'm sorry. It's not obvious to me. Okay. White can cut. When we play our M13, white can still cut. So we did not save the cut, but rather made it more painful for white to cut, less significant for white to cut. So we're supporting the cut. Okay. That being the case, okay, I'm starting to get there. Just a second. So the game continues and white gets some thickness and we continue the game. Now we go about our business. This black corner, kind of wish we had another stone. Oh, really? What if we had first put down M13 and then the game continued on whatever it's doing? Oh, I feel so much better now. Okay. So, white can't cut in either case, but you're actually supporting the corner significantly. Okay, that was a little hard for me to see. Next, we can totally cut here. Give me a break. Yeah, we're cut. But if we play M13 first and then start our cut, way easier. Okay, so this M13 is serious support. It's not a minor little, well, I'm doing a little something somewhere. No. Total preparation for it. Defense, attack, future center. Okay. As I went through that, I had to do it, what was that, 3-4 times till I finally had a deeper understanding so I could state it more clearly. Now I have a better chance of playing it in the game and know what I'm doing. This is how we should learn, or rather how I'm encouraging people to take your time to think about your move and do reviews. So it's like, oh, now I see. And then it stays with you. Okay, that's me doing a lot of rambling. Hopefully it was worthwhile to other people too. Okay. So white, black, white. I feel like a pet dog, and Chris comes over, pets my head. Good dog. Spot on. Oh, good spot. Good spot. Emotionally, to me, Chris is like up in the clouds, being God, and I'm down here trying to be a good soldier. Oh, spot on, Rick. Spot on. Okay. So this black player played here. And then Chris is saying, okay, anyway. So we did this. Oh, this is the game. Oh, that's terrible for black. White went here and left all the weaknesses. Really? I would call that an irrational move. That's like, yeah, I'll leave my weaknesses and you can still cut, you can do anything. Yeah, I don't like it. We got about 5 minutes here. Let's see if we can come up with another deal. Okay. Boom. Yeah, makes sense. Save. Okay, here. We just finished the sequence. We can take a breath. Say, okay, how do I proceed? And we don't have time for me to hear from many people. We have 3.5 minutes, so we'll just go through it. Black is, of course, saying, oh, my A group, alive upon alive. I don't even think about its health. Okay. My B stones, oh, they're about to die. Lance, may be good to mention that this will continue over at Patreon soon. Don't know what that means. I think George is saying that the plan is we're having weekly, we'll call this a lecture, a weekly group time based on Patreon. And we're doing 3 free lectures. Lectures is just easier to say. To get people used to the idea. And then people who like it can come over. It's, you'll see on Patreon, it's $5 to do it the 4 times a month deal, which is $1.25 if I did my math right. As in, we have one more session this week. I'm unaware of that. We have another Patreon session this week. I'm unaware of that. Seems to me we have another one next Saturday. Am I missing something, George? Okay, next week. You mean this lecture? Next week, ongoing. I feel bad. This is really what George and I go through all the time. He says it very nicely. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. We've done this countless times. One more of these. Okay. Okay. So the lectures will continue. Dare I use the word forever? And George is pointing out that right now, the link is a YouTube link. And after next week, it's going to be a Patreon link. And you have to click and do the money. Okay, starting to understand it. See how long it takes me to understand something? I frustrate my wife. I frustrated all my Go teachers because I ask and I ask, and I won't stop asking until they can say it in a way. Can you imagine Mr. Yang getting frustrated? He did with me. All my Go teachers get so frustrated because I just don't get. It's embarrassing, let me tell you. Okay. Better to ask than to know. I agree. I agree completely. So let's finish this question and we'll call it a day. Our B stones are weak. You're fine. I'm the one who I'm slow. Okay. The B stones. Hey, my stones are weak. I better defend them. That is wrong thinking. Oh, Token has it. Yeah. What good are they? Oh, I can get 20 points with that group. No, you can't. There's no points. Oh, White's going to pick up that area. Yeah, 2, 4, 6. Call it 10 in Gote. Double Gote. Well, they're going to attack. They're good in attacking the C group. No, C played really super strong. We're not going to be bothering them for a while. Well, I'll use them to attack the D group. Really? White is so far out there. B can't do anything. Walk away. Now, later on, that's going to be a different story. And we want White to capture because White's going to have to spend a whole move and we get 2 moves elsewhere. So we should play away. This black player saved it. Now check it out. This is a 1-don. What's a 1-don? Well, it's 10-second go. Okay, granted, but still, give me a break. You've got to know this at 1-don. Now, that's not true. I have found up to 3-don. I personally think of 3-dons as just fancy 1-dons. They just don't know anything. They just know how to do it real fancy. Oh, I know all the tricks. I can do this. I can switch over here. It's like, yeah, that's all true. I'm going to support this idea with a little story. And since we're done, you can just walk away, but I'm going to finish the story. I used to do guest appearances at Go clubs. And I would do a lot of simultaneous games. So at my local club, 1 week, I think there's 7 people, 7 boards. And of course, back then it's physical boards, not digital boards. And there's a 3-don playing and a 6Q young boy. And when I do simul, I don't do it anymore. My mind's not there anymore. I'm a weak old man. I would spend it was way under a second per move. The vast majority, I just walk, put a stone down, but because I'm playing the most obvious, simple moves I can think of. And this 3-don is just studying and working it. Oh, what do I do now? And I beat him, dare I use the word blindfolded. And by that, I mean, I never did anything, just won. But this kid, this 6Q, I almost lost because all he did, get his groups out to safety. What am I supposed to do now? I ended up sitting down and focusing on his board alone just so I could have a chance in the game. It was this little 6Q kid. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Hope to see you next week. Thanks, George, for running it all. Thanks, Chris, for being our sensei and helping us through the difficult bits. See y'all later. Bye.